You're listening to RTI Audio, powered by Rocky Top Insider. This is Pancakes and Bacon with VFL, Kyler Kerbyson, and Reed Bacon.
Hello, Vol Nation. Welcome to another episode of Pancakes and Bacon. I'm your host, as always, Kyler Kerbyson, joined with Reed Bacon. Have another great one today, talking the UAB game, looking at the college football landscape, and then jumping into a little bit of Mississippi State. Before we get into any of that, if you guys are watching, please like, subscribe, notification bell, leave a comment. If you guys are just listening, rate, review, download, re-download. It helps us very much. And also follow us on social media, descriptions below, so you can see all that stuff down there. Before we jump into the game, breaking down some stuff, looking ahead to everything, the most important part of the show, Reed, how are we doing, bud?
Hey, Kyler. How we doing, fella? I'm doing well. Check out the new Nike swag I got. Pecs.
No, just in time for us to switch to Adidas.
I got a good. I don't know if you remember, but when we were at the tailgate last week, I turned around and saw two young fellows there, and I said, "Hey, I like that Nike long sleeve. Where'd you get that?" And he said, "Alumni Hall at the mall." I said, "Bet." I went and got
it. There you go.
I also went to Alumni Hall over next to in the little shopping center next to not Fresh Market but Whole Foods. Got another short sleeve one. I've always loved just the plain and simple dry fit long sleeve. Give me the emblem or the emblem. Give me the tee. When it's Adidas, we'll have a little Adidas there. I've always just clean, classic dry fit. So
yeah, and if you know anything about Reed, he wants to go for the white, not the orange.
Yes, I'm white, light gray, lighter colors. I don't need orange. I don't need black. I don't need like. If I was a Bama fan, you'd never catch me in red. If I was an LSU fan, you'd never catch me in purple.
Orange works for me. I like orange. I like the earthy tones. Always have.
Yeah. The orange that I like to wear is the one that my dad got me. I have some orange stuff, obviously, but I like the old school, and it's kind of faded orange. It's not that like popping bright. But I'm just pale. I get a little pale, and I got a fair skin in the winter. And so, anyways, before I say yesterday was a snooze fest, I want to make sure to say that I still don't take it for granted, and I'm not going to take it for granted that Heupel and this staff is that good. There were plenty of times that anyone listening to this, times when you played there, when I was in school there, that these wins were not that easy, that effortless, and that jokey. Now, granted, I say easy and effortless and jokey. I'm not the one putting in all the hours. They're still practicing very hard. They're still grinding the tape, and that's what makes Heupel so good is because he does treat each week like it's its own, and I respect that. But for me as a fan, it's just like I literally had – you got ETSU and you got UAB, and it just doesn't do anything for me. But to give this team their credit, it's gone from where like a North Carolina State, maybe a Virginia, maybe a Syracuse, you're kind of like, at times I might have been a little bit worried about it. Coming in this year against Syracuse, I was like, nah, dude, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
I mean, hey, but in the past, Appy State, Georgia State, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
UTC one time. It's like, hey, this is a different feel.
I mean, Austin Peay, like we only when Joe was our quarterback, and it wasn't as easy as it should have been. So it's like the fact that we have other power, I get them all confused, but Power 4 teams, and we treat them like Group of 4, and now we're treating Group of 4 or FCS teams like it's a scrimmage. It's a great spot to be. It's just not as enjoyable. Like I am fired up to go next week because it's on the road. Mississippi State's 4-0. I don't know how good they actually are, but they beat They, as of right now, until we learn more, they have a pretty good win on their schedule with Arizona State. It's like anytime you go to the SEC and you play on the road, like you better bring it. So like I'm legitimately very excited for this weekend, but this week it was just like, don't get anyone hurt.
Well, you knew the outcome. It was hard to watch the game critically as well.
That's a good
and then also like break it down like, oh, was that a great play, or is it just like, hey, these guys don't know what they're doing out there? Like, one of the first plays where Mike's just running wide open on the crosser, or no, it's Braylon running wide open on the crosser, and it's just like 2 linebackers and 2 safeties all went like this up to the line of scrimmage. It was like nobody was there, and you just don't expect that versus SEC teams. So it's being like, yeah, great completion, great route, but like nobody's paying attention.
Yeah. It's just lack of a better word. It is what it is. My biggest thing was just, hey, it's routes on air. Hey, this is running against the scout team. Let's just do it. Be efficient, execute well, and get out of there with no injuries. So obviously I'm happy with everything. How's your weekend been? And then we can jump into it.
Good. Good weekends. Turning in all my stuff and getting ready to start my new job on Monday.
Yeah.
So looking ahead to that, and then got to do some more studying stuff because I'm taking my GC license next Saturday. So bunch of stuff going on. Little transition period.
How do you feel about the GC pod? I mean, you're a smart guy. You've always done well in school, so you feel okay with it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been studying for the past few months, going through all the books for it. It's an open book test, so
weren't they all?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to go to the site, and take the test. And you got the books, but it's like, here's an example. But it's like, it ain't a thin book.
Did you put all those little tabs in there?
No, they came with it in there. But this is one of like 13 books. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is open book, but you gotta be strategic about it. So not waste your time on it. It is timed too. So but yeah, I mean, getting into a new job, it's exciting. Starting something new. I'm pretty confident going into it. So excited for all that. But that's the biggest news I got going.
We know how you athletes are, though. You guys always had open book tests.
Rocks for jocks, it's just
rocks for jocks. Yeah, geology.
Yeah.
There may have been some things that helped us athletes out when I was at Memphis.
For sure.
There was a few.
I think honestly the biggest thing that I noticed athletes doing, I did not do this myself, is finding a girl for themselves that would write something for them, do something for them, stuff like that. I did not. I was with my now wife all through college, and she wasn't having any of that shit. She's like, you better do that on your own. Like, I'm not having a deadbeat on my hands. So I wasn't getting any assignments for free out of the wifey.
Yeah. There may have been a music appreciation class at Memphis that your boy got some help with. So
yeah, that's right.
That's good. Anyways, okay, we are sponsored by Bacon Junk Removal. Okay, so the Lord's blessed me, man. It's been an awesome summer, and going into the fall, worked with and for some outstanding freaking people, man. They have been so good. I've made some awesome, I don't want to say connections because that sounds transactional, but I don't want to say their relationships because it's not like I'm going to potentially stay in touch with these people. There's a few of them for sure, but just some great acquaintances and some people that have really, I've enjoyed and they've impacted me, and I've hoped, and they've told me I've impacted them, which makes everything worth it. But just appreciate anyone and everyone who reaches out, and please continue to do so. And we are here for you. Kyler, let's start talking CFB week 4 because I don't have my quote just yet.
Okay, he wants to try and figure that out.
I got a couple. I got the whiteboard right here. I just got a couple that I'm thinking about. Let's hear what are your reactions to CFB week 4. And I'm going to guess you're either going to go to Auburn, Oklahoma, or you're going to Florida, Miami first.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Auburn, Oklahoma is the big one. So let's end there. A lot of the other top 25 teams, like how in the last month, in the middle of November, people used to always complain about like SEC playing shitty teams like all the same week. I felt like this week it was weird how many bad teams, good teams were playing.
I agree.
Like, it was very odd. I did not expect that. I was like, why is there like 2 games that are good right now?
We've gone awesome week to open the season, terrible week, great week, very boring and snooze fest.
Yeah, like almost everybody was just playing nobodies.
Yeah. Or matchups are just not what you thought they were in the preseason. Like you thought Florida might have been ranked in the teams, if not better.
Yeah.
So
so Florida, Miami. I mean, I was thinking Miami is going to absolutely just rout them just based off of like Florida's demeanor doing everything else. So the fact that it was like a touchdown game in the fourth quarter kind of surprised me.
Right.
But man, like I think at this point we were just waiting for the press conference when it comes to Billy. Like it could happen any day now. So I think by the time we play him, they're on an interim head coach. Guys aren't going to be playing for anything. Heck, most of the team might be in the transfer portal by then. And honestly, like that part of the new age will kill teams. That kids can just be like, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. There's no point in playing anymore. Because it just puts everybody in a bad spot. A surprising one, Illinois versus Indiana. Indiana absolutely crushes Illinois. Didn't see that coming. Thought that would be a contest. No, not at all. Not at all. And I think like that is even last year with Indiana and what they were able to do and get to the playoff. Like that was their first ranked win in like a few years.
For Indiana?
Yeah, for Indiana, which is kind of crazy.
That one was, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really watch it because by the time I was going to check it in, it was over. And it's like I want to pull for Indiana a little bit. And it was like I liked Signetti when he first went there, and then he's kind of annoying, and then they got blasted. And I don't know. It's still they're just kind of there to me. I don't know. I can't give you much on that game, but it's like I don't care to.
No, it's Big Ten. I mean, it's a passing. Hey, I saw a couple plays. I looked at the box score.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I will say, so the ones, for me, just to hit on the Florida, Florida's a disaster, and it's bad, and I love every minute of it. I'm not going to feel bad. They had their 2 national championships while I've been growing up. The funny thing about Florida is they've had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows since I can remember, which is pretty funny because if you think about it, like they've had some bad coaches. Like they've gone through their coaches, whether it was the Sharp with Greg McElwain, whether it was Will Muschamp,
dude, that was probably the most annoying part is like 1 year when I was there, they went fucking 4-9, and one of their wins was versus us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the team sucks, but they beat us.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, before we move off that game completely, did you see Jacoby Thomas have the really nice tackle on the backfield?
Oh, I didn't see
So
that.
I legitimately forgot all about him. I forgot all about him. I love the way he played for Tennessee last year. I did not expect him to enter the portal last year because he was potentially going to be a starter. Does Tennessee miss him? I don't know. I mean, do we beat Georgia with Jacoby Thomas? I mean, we had plenty of opportunities to win. I would love to have him and Edrees Farouk, even though they're kind of both that same in the old quote unquote strong safeties, even though there's not really that anymore. Just how they play is more of a strong.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, and we'll get into it when we talk Vols UAB, Andre Turntine still not doing it for me. And he's just there. He's very much just there for me, and I need something out of him. Like this week in the Mississippi State game would be a big week for him to pop up and do something for me on the road in the SEC. Like make a play for me. We'll get there. So like it would be really cool to have Jacoby Thomas and Edrees Farouk just both absolute head hunters. A little bit more athletically, in my opinion, than what Andre Turntine gives you. But yeah, he made a tackle, and they said his name. I was like, "What the?" I completely forgot about him. And I think I even made a comment like, "Okay, dude, like go to Miami, like good luck." And now Miami's the number 14. Are they really top 5? I don't know. We're still so early, but I couldn't just brush him off like I did the FSU guys, even though they got their win against Bama, yada yada yada. But it just made me think that Tennessee knew what they had in Edrees Farouk, and they really liked Jacoby Thomas, and they wanted to keep Jacoby. But a place like Miami called and was just like, "Hey, we're going to give you." I'm just using rough numbers, but hey, we're going to give you $300,000, and he's making $120 at Tennessee. Tennessee goes, "Hey, we love you, and we want to keep you. We can't give you that," and that's why he did. So it's like, would they have liked to have him? Probably, but Heupel and Willie Martinez love older guys. So even if Jacoby was here, I don't think Jacoby replaces Andre. I think it's Jacoby and Andre with Edrees getting some run. So you see what I'm saying? It's like in my perfect world, I don't think it changes things.
No, I agree. And like even like the Florida State guy, like Squirrel White, like I'm sure he's like, man, yeah, would have been nice on this offense, but this wasn't the offense. It was Nico's offense when Squirrel left. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like he had kind of saw the writing on the wall with it and thought to himself, well, I think I might be able to do something somewhere else. So
and I think the coaches have a lot to do with it. They're like, we got Braylon Staley, we got Mike, we got these guys like you can stay
that are dying to play.
Yeah, and they're going to be ready. So it's like you can stay, but we're either going to take some NIL money, or we're not going to be able to give you as much, or we're definitely not increasing it. It's like, hey, it's probably just time for you to go. So anyway, so I did want to bring that up in that one. Congrats to Vandy, I guess. I mean, I still don't think they have like a super impressive win. I think it's a good win to go to South Carolina and knock out Sellers and win like they have, but I'll give them credit. Like they're not playing around with these teams. They're smashing teams.
Which has never happened before.
Never. So I heard someone on the radio say the other day, do you think this Vandy team is better than any of those James Franklin teams? And you know how much respect I have for James Franklin when he was at Vandy and what he did.
He didn't do this.
No. And he didn't have this type of guy. He never had a Diego Pavia when he was there.
No.
So good on them to avenge that loss last year. And then I watched a little South Carolina and Missouri, but not enough.
Sellers is the most up and down quarterback I've ever seen.
I mean the just where we sit now to think about Lagway, Sellers, Arch, all those guys, and now you get and we were like, great point, Nussmeier, and right now we're like, give us Joey all day, every day.
That's right. Right.
So it's funny how that's why I always say sports, man. When we do like our season prediction, I say sports are just weird. Like it's very rare that they go exactly how you think they're going to.
Yeah, it's weird is the definition. You got Michigan, Nebraska, which I thought was like a entertaining game, but then Michigan is just, bro, the running backs they have are road graders. Their offensive line is really good, and I think Bryce Underwood will be good, but right now it's just like not clicking with the offense.
Yeah,
because he has the talent, and even like some of his balls are in that game. I was like, your receivers are not helping you out, dude.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but I don't know if the coaching staff at Michigan is good enough to put Bryce in a good spot.
Yeah, I get that.
mean?
Yeah, I mean, you lose Harbaugh. Harbaugh's one of the best coaches of our generation. That game for me was entertaining, but I don't think either of those teams are really that good. I don't think Nebraska's that good. And the thing about Nebraska is I've always had a soft spot in my heart for them because I feel like they're a little bit of the Tennessee where their fans are great. Even when they're down, their fans are always there, always supporting them. They had a good run in the 90s. And I did like Matt Rule. I thought Matt Rule was a really good coach and thought that what he did with Temple and Baylor was impressive. Going to work with the Carolina Panthers and Tepper, that's a very difficult job. But when Nebraska hired him, I was like, man, that's a great hire. I think he'll do really well there. So they were always like they were always kind of like the loser, that the underdog, not underdog, but what am I trying to say here? They were kind of just like that lovable loser that you like felt bad for and wanted him to win.
Mm-hmm.
But Dylan Raiola has changed that completely for me. I've gone from where I like root for them to be like, dude, give me a break. Like, and even before yesterday, it had come out that he was like, yeah, I'm my own guy. I don't like when the kids call me Patrick Jr. And then they even reiterated it yesterday on the broadcast. They were like, yeah, he wants to be his own guy. He wants to, like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, no, you don't. You do everything.
Yeah, quit acting like it. Quit acting different.
You do everything like him. Everything. And so I was like, you can't go now where you're trying to be your own guy and you don't like that stuff when you were the one that invited it and brought it on yourself and encouraged it. It'd been different if it was like a couple years ago and someone made a comment about it and he immediately nipped it in the bud, but he didn't. And then the lady finished the little segment where she was like, yeah, he wants to be his own guy, this, that, and the other. And I appreciate the announcers were like, well, they kind of took a little shot at him and said, you brought it on yourself. And she's like, but he's still really good friends with Mahomes and looks at him as a mentor, but he looks at it like a Kobe and Jordan thing now. I'm like, bro, that might be worse. That might be worse than you acting like Mahomes. Like, you ain't Kobe and Jordan. Like,
yeah, you're not Kobe, Brad. You're not Kobe, bro.
No. So that made it even worse. But then I'm like, had to remind myself, it's like, he's a college kid. So anyways, back to that game. I don't like Michigan. Never liked Michigan. Don't really like anything about them. They annoy the crap out of me. So it's like, I didn't want them to win. And you would like that win for Nebraska. But Nebraska, I think Nebraska's a bunch of, I can't say frauds. I just don't think they're any good. I think they are a 6, 7, 8 win team. But I wanted to pull for them, but I can't because of Dylan.
I think it's crazy what the viewpoint of a quarterback can change on that team. Like, if he doesn't have that kind of attitude, you're probably feeling different about the whole team.
Oh, completely agree.
It's just like when the leader of the team is like that, you're like, fuck this team. Like
a coach or a quarterback can change a lot.
For sure.
A lot.
For sure.
So, I agree on that game though. I thought Michigan would win. They did. It probably shouldn't have been as close as it was. And but I still don't know how good Michigan is. They're probably, they just played Oklahoma. They got beat by Oklahoma at Oklahoma. And just to tie into this game, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how good I trust Oklahoma. Like, I don't know how worried I am them coming in here. They're going to be good on defense against us.
The offense,
but I still because I don't think Auburn's that good. I don't and Oklahoma kind of struggled. I don't know. I'm just not that impressed with Oklahoma yet. They haven't done anything for me.
I agree. I think the level of team that Michigan is, the fact that they had a rookie freshman quarterback playing away when they played Oklahoma. Oklahoma's struggle to score points. Mateer being a quarterback, and the best thing about him is his legs. It does leave stuff to be desired. I mean, it was 13-10 in the fourth quarter, and their only touchdown at that point was on an illegal play.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I've told you this before, when you're watching a team and the way that they can score is by trick plays, they're not that good of a team.
I agree.
I think that if your offense is not that good of an offense, if you have to rely on those trick, gimmick, things like that, UAB, for instance, when you have to do that, it means you cannot run a normal offense at a high consistency in, return. So it's like that kind of a little eye-opening. I mean, their defense, I think, is really good. I think, though, the 10 sacks is really it is inflated by the poor decision-making of Arnold. I think 6 or 7 of those was on him. Getting sacked with a 3-man rush. It's like, buddy, what are we doing? I thought there were plenty of times where guys were open or open-ish, and he's not letting go of the ball. Yeah. So I still think they have a good defense. But like you said, I'm not sure how good Auburn is in totality.
Yeah. I guess now that I've sat here and listened to you and then was sitting here thinking about what I was just saying, talking about these games, and I was saying, I don't think this team's that good. I don't think this team's that good. I don't think this – I don't know if I think there's really – I mean, I was very impressed by Tennessee and Georgia. So I think both those are good teams. But I think it's just still just so early that we don't know. It's going to be another – what are we, 4 games in?
Yeah.
So I think you probably don't know until 6, 7 games in, or eye test, meaning they just go out and beat the brakes off everyone they play, because I haven't watched Ohio State play this year. I guess I watched
the first game versus Texas, and it was 14-7, and Texas doesn't look that good.
Correct. Great point. But for me, eye test wise, if I can't look at different stuff, like I didn't watch a lot of Texas OSU because Tennessee and Syracuse were on at that time. So there wasn't a lot of that watching, but that's a great point. If Texas isn't that good and it was a dogfight for them. So I think it's very exciting because it sounds like there's a lot of – it's wide open. For example, this upcoming weekend, going around the same, stop me if you've heard this before. Is Penn State any good? Are they going to be able to win a big game? They have Oregon. How's Oregon this year compared to last year? So, eye test wise, LSU hasn't looked that good, and they're supposed to be the number 3 team in the nation. Yeah. And Clemson just lost to Syracuse. So we beat. So there's so much out there that I think instead of trying to determine who's really good, I just be like, hey, no one's really impressed me eye test. And since I'm a Tennessee fan, that makes me excited about what Tennessee's capable of. Mm-hmm. And it makes me less worried about Oklahoma coming here.
Parity. That is what's going on. We have a ton of parity in college football right now. And I don't know if it almost kind of introduces a possibility of a 3-loss team being in the playoff.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like that. Just because you're just like, I don't know. I literally do not know how good these teams are. I could see them losing 3 games. I could see them winning all their games. It could go either way. But I think the college football playoff not coming out, their ranking not coming out till week 7, week 8 is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, to tie this up and move to Vols and UAB, Tennessee's got a good quarterback. We have a good coach. We know we have a receiver now that can take over a game. And it's like, you got as good a chance as any. Very favorable schedule. So anyways, this is a super cliche quote. I always have liked it. I think it's a great one. And I think it's a really good one for this week since it's our first true away game. Mm-hmm. Burn the ships.
That's right.
So I thought about just business trip, because if you listen to what Heupel said after the game, which I did today while I was eating breakfast, getting ready for this, and I think I even saw it on Twitter the other day, but that we had like 16 true freshmen play like in the first half yesterday, which is just wild. I thought
A bunch
about
of guys on the D line.
I thought about you. I was like, can you imagine if Kyler was playing as a true freshman? Dude, like, I would have been nervous for you, bro. Because it just takes it takes people different time to get ready. But that's a lot of youngsters. And so this is going to be the first true weekend. I love that it's a 4:00 because, A, I don't have to wait all day to watch it. And B, I did not want that night game, the light show, the cowbells. We don't play well. I'm not really worried about that because of our quarterback and our coach. But still, we saw it happen last year at Arkansas. So go there. It's a business trip. Burn the ships. Show up and just do what you're supposed to do. You're the better team. You're going to be favored. Go handle business. Don't let these people hang around.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So we're going to be talking about that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about UAB.
Yep.
Kind of what you said at the beginning. You know what you got. There's not a lot of takeaways from it, just with how, the competition that you're facing. But just going through it. So, like, on the offensive side of the ball, Mr. Deshaun is wearing gloves full time now, which I like. No more drop balls. I love our wide receivers like so much, and I Joey, every time he goes out there, I'm just like, these deep balls. That's what we've been begging for the past 2 years with Joe and Nico, and he's hitting them, and he's just letting go of the thing too. He's not holding on to it. He's not hesitant about what he wants to do. If there's any kind of like tight man coverage, it's an obvious throw it, like give him a shot, give him a chance. And I don't think that happened all the time last year. So I love to see that. I literally had a time where I put down there like, hey, we got to, as a quarterback, I want you to start pulling the ball on some of the counters. And then literally 4 plays later, another drive, he pulled it and ran it himself.
Is that when he got like 3-4 yards, 5 yards?
Yeah, he got like 3 or 4 yards, but it was like a drive before that, maybe 5 plays before that, where he handed it off on a counter and the defensive end was just screaming down and we got like a yard or 2 yards. And I thought at the time, I was like, he's got to start pulling those to keep him honest. And then it was 5 plays later, he pulled it. Yeah. And then he did it again later. And I was like, okay, great. Like, that's exactly what we want. Because I think teams are starting to just assume things with our run game. And then just some of the stuff, like Mike missing on a couple deep balls, I just wanted to be a little bit more aggressive on those. There were some pass pro that I didn't really like. One, Pendleton, like, just let a guy right past him. The announcer said that, he was, I guess, assuming the guard would be with him. But if looking at the formation and looking at what it was, he shouldn't have assumed that. And I expect my center to be the smartest offensive lineman out there and know, like, hey, there's a 3 technique over your left guard. You're probably not going to be able to pass this nose over. And if you do pass the nose, you got to be assuming somebody is looping back around. And you just kind of let him go. It felt lazy thought process / lazy, like, follow through with it. Yeah. If you're passing a guy off, you need to know that someone's taking him, especially if there's no blitzer coming. It's not like there was another guy screaming through the gap and he's like, oh, I got to pick him up. I just got to, just touch this guy and let him go. It was just kind of like, there's nobody else for you to block. Why would you even let your hand off of him? Mm-hmm. So stuff like that. Mo also had one where he's just lunging, and it just felt like I'm not using my techniques. I'm not locked in like I need to be. I'm kind of lazily blocking this guy, and it's just a free hit on Joey, which you just can't have. I mean, every single one of our running backs I like. The way they run.
I've gotten to a spot with them. I've gotten to a spot like but anyways, go ahead, or I can jump in.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I need just Deshaun and Star.
I agree.
I like Peyton, but it's still a lot what I saw last year. Man, this is tough.
I literally put down my notes. Peyton's still odd running.
Yeah, I think you were super excited to see what he did in the Syracuse game and just ran through a dude. And I'm not saying that's not who he can't be, but I'll get to that in a second. So I really liked Peyton coming out when we got him. I remember exactly where I was. Hey, we got this 4-star running back. I watched him. I'm like, yo, dude, this guy, he's big. He can absolutely fly. And I thought based on his high school tape, it looked like he was a pretty good fluid runner. But now I'm starting to think about with Peyton a little bit how I thought about with Nico, and I tried to give Nico the benefit of the doubt for about as long as I could until the frustration set in. And I know they're two different positions, but I think we have to continue to trust our eyes as fans and when we do stuff that sometimes it's just not going to be what we had hoped it to be or wanted it to be or thought it could be. And he is just who he is. And what I mean by that, and I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe he can transition. This is only his sophomore year. But I think with certain attributes to certain positions, you just are those. That it's not something you pick up as a runner, as a running back. You are either born with really good vision or not. You're born with really good balance or not. I played with guys in high school and then even at the University of Memphis, and I know you saw people that were really big and really fast. And so it's the lower level of ball. You toss it to them and they're going to outrun people or they're just going to break tackles because the other guys just can't bring them down. But now when you get to this league and as you continue to go up in leagues, it's like that doesn't translate as well as someone who has really great balance like an Alvin Kamara. Because AK was never fast, not the fastest, definitely not the biggest, but that guy just had that wiggle and that balance and that he had the eyes. I mean, I've just seen it way too many guys or guys that receivers that have big, strong, fast, that have it all. They just can't move in and out of breaks or their hands aren't great. They can get by someone, but there's just always these attributes. And when I brought up Nico had everything that looked like he was a quarterback built in a lab, but yet whatever it is, whether it's his processing, whether it was his accuracy, whether it was both, whether it was whatever the case, there was something mentally or just did not click. And that's why you look at Joey, and Joey's a little Baker Mayfield looking dude, not the biggest, not the strongest, not the fastest, but you know what he does? He throws it to where it needs to be thrown, and 90% of the time it's a great, accurate ball.
Yep.
And that's all you need for Coach Heupel, because Coach Heupel's going to dial these dudes up.
That's right.
So with like Deshaun Bishop, he's a good runner. I'm not going to say he's great or really, really good. He's a good runner, though. Like, he'll break tackles. He'll make some moves. He'll break a tackle, got some cuts to him and stuff like that. I think Star Thomas, of what I've seen, is really good. I think Star really impressed me with that catch in the Syracuse game because running backs don't usually make it look that good, where he looked like he could be a receiver catching the ball. Yesterday, I know it's UAB, but he gets in the open field, and that safety had zero chance. And then I go back to thinking about Peyton Lewis last week, where it's in the biggest game of the year so far. Peyton Lewis drops the screen route where if he catches that, he's turning up and going, or where it's everyone's blocked. He has to make the safety miss. I know that the DBs for Georgia are some of the best in the country, but that guy just goes down and chops his legs. He didn't even make him really earn the open field tackle. He just kind of
he dropped one this week too.
Well, and I'm getting there. So sorry, I got something in my mouth. It was I don't know if it's hair or whatever, but So that's my point is like even yesterday, like Peyton Lewis probably scores on that one that Star Thomas does because he'll just run by him, or maybe that caliber guy will flake off on him. But I don't trust Peyton Lewis in the open field. Last year and the year before that, we were so spoiled because the first guy never brought Dylan Sampson down, whether it was in the backfield or the open field.
Yeah.
And that's where you go from 30-yard runs to 60-yard house calls. And even with Jalen Wright would run through dudes or leave him in the dust, and Jabari would at least make one safety miss, and then maybe the next safety would catch him or get him.
For sure.
But I just see it with Peyton. I think Peyton's our true number 3. He's going to be fine for a game like a Mississippi State where he can take carries and pound the rock. But when it's a big game and every play matters and you get a guy in the open field, I need Star or Deshaun, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, and Star's really turning into the guy that can make the first guy miss always. Like he's showing that. You saw it in the game in the backfield. Guys are right on him, and he spins off of it. It's like he's starting to show what we've seen in our previous running backs over the Heupel era. So I love that. Just like transfer from Duke, have no idea what it's going to be like, and then he's just showing out.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. There was also like a run on the one drive where it was like a pretty long drive and Peyton stayed in for most of the time. He ended up scoring on the option play, which calling an option versus a mug look is just like the best thing that you could ever do. There was like a run on that where he went to the outside and it was like, here's a chance. You got some blockers in front of you. There's a safety coming up. And I think he left his feet. Like he was like running and like literally didn't do a move, like kind of like jumped into the tackler. And I'm like, what do we where, what I said, what is your identity as a runner? Like, what are you going to do when it's one-on-one? Because there's 11 versus 11. So you got to beat your one guy.
Right.
Yeah. But so I agree with you. I think he's 3.
Yeah. In listen, hopefully he continues to progress. He's still a younger guy. But as we move forward, Mississippi State game, yeah, no problem. Some of those other, Vandy, Arkansas, some of those, but like my Oklahoma, Alabama, when it's a big, big drive or a big third down, like I just want one of those other 2 guys in, unless it really is like a 4th and 1 and you're just handing it to a guy and just letting him try to plow through. I still think if it's like a ISO in an A gap and someone's meeting him, I think he can run through a dude there. But if someone gets through the line of scrimmage early, that's where I would be nervous. So
yeah, because I also feel like in those situations he kind of closes his eyes and just runs forward, and it's like, all right, that I did the same thing when I played backup fullback at 11 years old on my Pee Wee football team. I closed my eyes and ran forward. So I need a little bit better out of you.
Continue with some of your other stuff though.
Love the idea. It is a hilarious turn of events on this play, but love the idea where Joey pulls it and then he's like running, but then sees, I think it was Mike out on the edge and throws the ball out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that idea where it's like a extension of a triple option wide receiver. If that's part of the game plan, if that's part of something that's like, hey, just in case, like teach them to go back, like step backwards, be behind the line of scrimmage, because then he almost throws it backwards to you. It's not illegal man downfield. There's nothing wrong with throwing it over there.
Right.
And if you catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage, people are allowed to block for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a little teaching point, but damn, poor Jesse got 3 penalties in one play. I thought that was hilarious. Got a holding, a block in the back, and a legal man downfield.
Yeah. He's out there giving effort.
Yeah. Hey, you can't say he ain't trying. We finally had like a 4th down that we went for. I think it was just like the most simplistic way. It almost looked like it was going to be a QB sneak, but they handed the ball off. Right now, I'm okay, but at the same time, like, are we gonna be able to do that on short yardage? Because short yardage is going to come up sooner or later.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? We didn't have it really versus Georgia, but I remember 2 years ago and last year being like, what does short yardage look like for us?
Yeah.
We haven't been we've been through 4 games and haven't been tested on it really much.
Right.
So curious. I'm very curious about that. Let's see. Another exchange issue with quarterback or running back, a little fumble. I know it's very easy to fix, so I'm not going to say it's like a problem, but I don't expect to see 2 in the first 4 games. And like, is this going to just every other game we're going to have one of these? Like, that's not good.
Right.
That's not good. So just want to clean that up. And then looking ahead, not necessarily Mississippi State, but Oklahoma and the way their defense plays and the way they get upfield and the, 3-4 into 4-3 back into 3-4 kind of looks they give. I really love our motioning tight ends in and out, and I really love our pin and pull plays where it doesn't really matter what the front is. It just matters who's uncovered and who's covered. And every single offensive lineman has to have the ability to pull, which I love. It kind of just like lines up well versus that kind of defense. But I mean, besides that, good. We're the best offense in the country right now. We score the most points. We're the most efficient on third down. Here we are. So let's keep it up.
Yeah, so agreed with you on a couple things there. Short yardage has been one of those things that you and I have talked about over the 5 years with Heupel. And there's going to be times and places and big games where you're going to have to convert. And, what's the game plan there? Because you kind of have everything at your disposal. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you Joey's the swiftest of feet, but he's mobile enough. 3 running backs that we just talked about, are you going to RPO it? Are you going to hand it? Whatever sometimes he likes to bring a big tight end in and hand it to them like he did with Miles last year and Princeton before that. The mesh point, I don't want that to come back to bite us. Like, and I know Joey hasn't been here super long and Joey is working with 3 other backs. So kind of is it something that one of them is doing that feels different, or whatever the case may be. For me to kind of wrap UAB up, I don't know what else you have.
Just on the defensive side of the ball.
And that's what I was going to say. Like offensively, I've made my points. I talked about Peyton and Starr. I can't say enough good things about Joey, and it's nice to feel confident in saying it because now it's 4 games in, but at least we had a huge test and we saw him ball out against what should be one of the best defenses in the country. And then he comes out and handles business like this. I mean, that one pick that he threw, it was good coverage. The guy may be a little bit early.
I thought he was.
I don't know if that's probably I was about to say, I don't know if that's probably where you want to go, but when you got Chris Brazel one-on-one with a guy from UAB out there,
I thought there was a few times where there was PIs that the refs didn't really throw anything.
Wow.
And I kind of chalked it up to like it's UAB, and they're just kind of like, "Come on, guys."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're picking on them at this point. Do I really need to like bail you out of stuff? Because it feels like if that's an SEC game and it's last week that they throw it.
Yeah. And that ties into with how the refs are with that game because everyone knows kind of the outcome. It also ties into some of the mistakes that are made because Tennessee – the way that Heupel approaches it with like it's not about the result, it's about the process helps when it comes to games like this because we're going to practice the same. You're supposed to execute the same, but there is just a different level of the highest of highs of that atmosphere in that game against Georgia than the lowest of lows of coming off a loss. Now you got to bounce back. You got to get juiced up for a 12 o'clock kick. You got to know you got to go play. And that's why I do love where Heupel's like, because someone even asked him about that, like these lower level games. He's like, listen, if you're a competitor, we only get 12 of these games I guess that's how many games. He's like, we only get 12 games. Like you work your whole year for this. And so I know as players, you and I've talked about this before, even if it was high school and you're playing a crappier team, and then it's like, you're okay. How many tackles can I get, or how many yards can I go for? There's like these little mind games we play, and so I hear you. Like the players, refs, coaches coach different. Like Trent Dilfer was coaching completely different against Tennessee. It's just a different style game when it's such a lopsided affair with talent wise. And that might have been some of the defensive stuff, but for me, defensively, you got a couple miscommunications. We had a lot of young guys. I love that we had a lot of young guys in there and playing. Reese Farouk had some nice plays, which I love to see. Andre Turntine, again, he's just caught. It's like, what are we doing, dude? You're just caught in no man's land. Like your eyes had to be in the wrong spot, and then you looked not very fast or athletic, and Reese had to help him again make the tackle to save a tutty, and then he got the pick. And I saw that Heupel gave him a game ball, but it's like, I mean, bro, I've seen you jump that little hitch route now against UAB. Like, can we do that against an SEC team? Like, let's like that pick doesn't, like, I expect you to have a pick against UAB. They're not any good, but I needed something to happen in a bigger game now. And then
also felt like both Andre and Boo were asleep at the wheel until they got the turnovers.
Yeah.
It's like, why the hell do I have to smack you in the face to wake you up?
Yeah, agreed. And I don't know if it was because of us talking about Boo last week and then something that we've been noticing. And now, like, the Tennessee really wanted to, like, show it out there. Hey, he got a game ball. Hey, we're going to put him out on our socials. Like, have a good game, Boo. It's like, listen, the punch was a great play. But instead of me being excited about that, I'm like, bro, do that shit against higher level competition. Like, you have all the tools. So instead of being like, damn, that was a sick play, I'm like, yeah, dude, that's what happens when you get locked in and you play and you're there. You don't give up fourth downs against Georgia with a guy crossing your face.
Well, it's also like none of the conversation is about Boo being a bad player.
No, I know.
Like, that's not what it's about. Like, everyone thinks he can do that on any given Saturday. It's about his attitude and being able to do it.
Right, and being locked in.
And being locked in and wanting to do it and being with your team and all that kind of stuff. Because even on that punch and touchdown, Boo ran away from the – like, he did it, and then you see him literally run off screen as everybody else runs to celebrate.
I watched it a couple of times. He literally ran to the end zone with Caleb, and then everyone started celebrating with Caleb. And Boo like raises his hand, is like, "Hey, don't forget, I punched it. He might have scored, but I punched it." Compared to just following Caleb in there and jumping on Caleb and slamming Caleb's head and being like, "Let's go!" Like, come on, like. And that's just, that's just kind of probably, it's not anything that we're saying that no one knows, but that's just Boo. Like, Boo's just a me guy, assuming basically how he plays. He was always used to having the ball in his hand in high school. He was always used to scoring. So it was just, and no offense to you offensive guys, which not for you because you're a lineman, but like offensive guys are a little bit more selfish in my opinion. They're more me guys compared to defensive guys. But yeah, I agree completely. I noticed it. And so then when they put it out and he gets the game ball and he's like, "Where's Boo Carter?" And everyone's like, "Boo." And then he's just standing there and it just looks like he's like super uncomfortable. Yeah, he's like, he doesn't like, "Hey, thanks guys. Thanks. I appreciate it." Get a smile on his face. He's just kind of standing there to then me leading again, being like, "It's just weird in there. It's just weird." He doesn't feel comfortable. Some people don't feel comfortable around him. So I don't know. I thought it was just pretty funny that the University of Tennessee wants to show that video. And then they also want to put out his stats. It's like, hey, I don't care about 9 tackles and a forced fumble against UAB, bro. I do not care about that.
Yeah.
So,
let's see.
anyways.
Let's see versus SEC opponent.
Yeah, exactly. What else you got defensively?
Let's see. Marion Dye, first sack as a freshman, playing out there. I like it. It wasn't like, hey, I whooped my guy one-on-one, but I keep pushing him back and the quarterback runs into me. So here we go. That kind of goes in hand with the young guys playing. The split formation, the gimmicky stuff, I don't think that was even on the radar for our defense. No. Like, I don't think they knew that was coming. I think that was something Dilfer was like, hey, we're holding this back. We're going to bust this out versus them. Because on the plays they had success. They were doing it after they scored their one touchdown in the first half. The next drive they came out, they ran that formation 3 times in a row. They were like, all right, we had success. Let's do it again. And just trying to catch them offside. Because the first 2 times they did it, before they ended up scoring on it, the guys were like, wait, where do we line up? Which side do we go to? But the guys were good enough to take it. Like Nathan just blew up the freaking tackle that was out on the edge, and he made the tackle on the receiver. And that's just like Nathan being like, hey, see ball, get ball. I'm over an offensive lineman. I don't care if I'm out here or in there. It didn't have anything to do with, we were in the right position, because it probably weren't. You know what I mean? So I think that was a little wrinkle that they did not expect. So when they scored on the touchdown, I was like, yeah, defense probably wasn't lined up exactly correctly. They're in man coverage on that side. They're literally like 12 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Makes it real easy to get like a little crossing pattern. And then I just called out Jordan Ross for his pursuit on it, trying to make a play, trying to cause a fumble before the guy goes in, because he's lined up at the end. And he ends up in on the tackle. I was like, all right, okay. I like the effort.
I'm actually rewatching it right now, and that bugs me, that play. So I'm glad that we're talking about it. It's the same thing again that we did last week. I mean, you're showing an all-out blitz, and so Kitna knows where he's going to go with the ball. I mean, he's been taught that. I know it's 3rd and 10.
We're behind the first down. It's not heels on the first down.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and it's like, I just don't like how deep we are there depth-wise. I would like maybe have them staggered. Whether you want your outside guy staggered, your inside guy staggered, I don't know. And I know it's a little bit of a funky formation, but guys, where it goes, the corner and safety, your shit doesn't change. If you split this half a field, I don't care if they've got every lineman on the other side, bro. Like, your assignment doesn't.
You play it with 2 wide receivers over there.
Yeah, and just like one of the first times they did it, and they rolled right, and they just threw an out route to Ty Redmond's guy, and it was like nothing changed for you. I don't care how crazy it looks. And so this is just I don't know. This just doesn't sit well with me. It didn't sit well with me obviously last week when we talked about it on that pod. I think this is Caleb right here, and he just gets turned, and they don't communicate, and then it's Caleb and Ty Redmond. Well, Ty Redmond's a starter. Caleb Beasley's, playing a good amount. It's like you can't. I don't know. Stuff like that can't happen. And I know you're up 28-0. I know it's UAB, but still, that's not stuff we want to put on tape.
Yeah, exactly.
And the funky formation should have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, they score, right? And then the next drive out, they're literally lined up in the same formation, and Ty Redmond's in press man. Like, he's just up on it, and he ends up making –
which is what –
Yeah, and he ends up making the play on the next one. It's like, yeah, dude. Like, why did – I know you're a freshman. Like, I get it. It's UAB. Yeah, we're up 28. Yeah, you're a freshman. But, like, I want to get to the point where I don't have to smack you across the head when you come on the sideline. And then you go, oh yeah, okay.
But then again, I don't know. I mean, it's probably not up to him on where he lines up every play. It's really not. I mean, he's probably not. The different defenses are probably going to call for whether you're at 6 yards, inside shade, outside shade, feet at the sticks, pressing. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if he allows them, whether it's cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, man. I don't know if he allows them to line up wherever they want. But I'll tell you this much.
Before they ended up scoring, just some of the other stuff I kind of went over. Some good block shedding by Farouk. He had a wide receiver come hit him, and he kind of shoved his shoulder into him, but kept his eyes. And then literally a tackle was pulling around. He avoided that one too and made the tackle. They ended up getting a first down on it, but I was like, hey, you had 2 guys.
Oh, don't worry, it's coming out this week.
Yeah, you had 2 guys trying to block you, so that was good. There were a couple plays in a row on one of the drives by Arian, which he made a big hit on a running back coming out of the backfield after he caught it. But I think I'm more of a stickler in these kinds of games versus inferior opponents. When I saw him like that hit and he got excited, all I could think about was like, your head was behind him. Like you made the tackle with your head behind him and not across the body. And I know that's not always the easiest thing in the world, but it's like, if that's the running back for Florida, he's probably breaking that tackle. And then they ran like a screen, and Arian was in that zone right there. That's where he's supposed to be. He stuck his foot in the ground, went for it, barely made the tackle on him. And it made me think back to, our conversations about, man, if we get one of those big dog linebackers, like that'll be such a big difference. And attack in the field and being all over the place. And I was like, we didn't think he was, but if Jalen Reeves-Maybin was in that game, he would have blown that running back up. How many times did we see him absolutely read a screen like it was the back of his hand?
It's really, really funny that you bring him up because just this week, hell, I might have been just driving in the truck and I'm thinking about some stuff and thinking about when we were on Talking Vols and I made a comment about how impressed I was with Arian's athletic ability in that Syracuse game. And then I heard some people on Twitter talking and like, Arian might be the most athletic guy we've had since A.J. Johnson. And I'm like shaking my head. And as much as Jeremy Banks would frustrate a lot of people, I thought Jeremy Banks had a really, really good 2022 until he didn't.
Agreed.
And he was an athletic guy. He would run side to sideline, but Jeremy Banks was a darn good running back. I mean, a darn good linebacker in my time. We don't like him, but Henry T, good linebacker when he was here, especially as a youngster. We don't talk about him enough, and so I want to give him a credit. But Daniel Batuli was a good linebacker. But when we're talking, when it is talked about athletically, I mean, Jalen Reeves-Maybin and that guy, it didn't seem like he got a little bit there where he started diving and missing some tackles, but he was always in the spot and always there. And, yeah, you would think if Arian had the eyes and anticipation that Jalen Reeves-Maybin had, then it could be pretty unstoppable.
Yeah, because it's like he still made the tackle, right? So you don't want to, shit on the guy.
Yeah,
but it's UAB, and I expect a lot out of you, and I want you to be able to stuff a dude versus Bama.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't want it to just be a shoestring tackle,
right?
Like those kind of tackles that Reeves maybe made, like Oklahoma, Missouri, those are big time plays.
I agree. That's funny that you said that because I thought about him this week.
Yeah. Let's see. Before that touchdown, this is another thing. Like what I said earlier with Turrentine and Boo, there was 3 plays in a row where Boo was looking inside. They ran a corner and nobody was over there on the guy. Completion. They run a little out route into the flat, which Boo has. It's an easy completion for 7. Then he's lined up over the slot, looks over to the sideline, doesn't know what to do, and he just runs deep, and it's an easy completion. They get another 15. And then he gets pulled, right? They're like, come on, get out of there. And it's just like, I know you're not a bad player. You're just not locked in on what's happening. So those kinds of things. And then it's like, okay, second half, he gets the 2 forced fumbles. He gets the more tackles. He gets the pass breakup. Okay. Well, man, why do I have to smack you across the head to get you to go and get you to do the things you need to? So it's just, that's another aspect of it. And then they ended up scoring that touchdown.
Well, I mean, we haven't even talked about his drop punt.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, you can't have that in big games, man. That's the type of stuff that's like, we get a big stop against Mississippi State, say we're up 14-0, 10-0. We have all the momentum in the world. They punt to you and you drop it, give them a short field. Now it's a 10-7 ball game, 7-14 game. It's like that's the shit you can't have. But anyways,
exactly. Let's see. I like still just watching Joshua Joseph one-on-one work these tackles, even if he doesn't get a sack or doesn't. It's like he gets a little bit of pressure on the quarterback, but I like watching it because I'm like watching his moves. I'm watching his just like slap, chop, rip, and he's just murking these dudes. And I love to see it because it just makes me excited for more games and more sacks and more forced fumbles. Like, once those quarterbacks start holding on to it longer, we're going to be getting in there. And like, he's already made huge plays this year for us. Let's see. That was pretty much it. I thought we did a good job, like just staying where we needed to on like the little fourth down they tried to do before half. And then, second half, I wasn't really like taking notes, looking over it again. I was like, this game, what is what it is.
Only thing that I would mention too, to give a shout out, Caleb Beasley is a youngster, which I liked him coming out of high school. He got injured last year. It was pretty dog. Pick that puppy up with one hand and house call it. That's pretty impressive for a youngster to do. I've seen a lot of guys fall on it or grab it and just kind of tackle themselves. So, anyways, for Tennessee, click this puppy down. I'm ready to go watch my Titans. Handle business, dude. You're the better team. Have a good week of preparation. You don't have to bring it up. I guess you can, of like, hey, last year we were flying high, we go to Arkansas, we get beat. And I don't even know if Heupel's that type of guy to bring it up. Maybe he will, but it's all about just we're going to go have a good week. We got to go execute. We got to, he loves to say, play harder for longer. And if you do that, you don't have to worry about this, and it's another notch under your belt. And like I said, Joey's awesome. So I trust the quarterback, man. If he's not giving games away and he's hitting the open guy, I'm not worried about games like this.
Yeah. All the things you said, take care of what you take care of, keep the ball safe, no dumb penalties. Your first true away road game, offensive line, no false starts. Hey, let's figure out a fucking silent cadence this week. Okay. If you don't have one figured out, if you're just relying on the clap, let's think of something else just in case. It's not that loud there, but cowbells can kind of get annoying. And sometimes those tackles can't quite hear. So let's get that squared away. I don't want to see that. Also, this is our first real running quarterback that we're going against. So defensive line, stay in your lanes. Don't over pursue. Don't get outside of shit and let this guy pick up 3rd and 7s and 3rd and 8s and keep the drive alive and make it to where our offense can't get the ball. Let's get him off the field when we have the opportunity. I don't want to have to rely on a QB spy so that we can keep this going, because we've already talked about zone coverage, quarterbacks finding those open lanes on us. And if you have to use an extra guy as a QB man, you're probably not going to be in man coverage. You're probably going to be in zone. So let's take care of it with the front four. Make sure he's not getting out of the pocket. Keep contained, because that's what they'll take advantage of.
Yeah.
Hey, we got an athletic quarterback. He's going to move around. He's going to do what he can. So I want to see that out of the guys, and then just play clean football. Like you just mentioned, no drops on special teams, no mistakes. No, we've been really good this year with penalties, a lot better than like the previous 2 years. So I'm liking that growth pattern. But we need to handle business. We're a better team. It's obvious. And we need to get our first SEC win.
Agreed. Don't mess around. Don't let them hang around.
No.
Yeah. See you, brother.
See you, man. All right. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you are watching, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you're just listening, rate, review, download, re-download, follow us on all those social media platforms. And appreciate you guys. Best fans in the world. Got another dub under our belt. Trying to get our first SEC win this week. So super excited for that. And as always,